We will maintain one language, at least for the live stream. We will maintain English. So, Uncle Mo, thank you for making it here. We wanted to ask you a couple of questions. One of the questions is, how did you start YouTube? And maybe secondly, how did you find out what works for you on YouTube?
First of all, thanks for the invitation. Nice stand.
Yes.
And the thanks for the invitation.
Remove the mask.
So we observe SOPs,
Yes.
but we just want to
Let's
see the
put
face.
on
It
so
might
that-
be a fake. What if you see the right
First
person?
of all, I'm happy for the invitation. Happy to find you. Good to see you. When it comes to YouTube, I was talking to someone as I was coming in here that what we do on YouTube should totally be passion driven, because if it's money driven, you're going to be very, very frustrated. The numbers are not as glossy as people put them out to be until you forget the numbers and you put your work in the content. And no one gets it right the first time. Anyone that has a channel, you know your first video is not the best video. So, and we should never delete those videos so that people understand where the hustles come from. And the other thing about content creation that I have learned, I've been on YouTube for 14 months, but the things that I've learned on YouTube, you have to find your special. Before you do that, it is the wrong place for you. Find your special, and the special is refined every day. You won't find it the first time. You might not find it the second time. On the channel, I have now 32 videos, but I didn't find the special. I think, and I'm still working on the special. Whatever you're doing, someone else is doing it as well. So why you? Man, data is expensive. Why you? First of all, we need to drive kutuma. You know, so if you've given yourself the responsibility to entertain us, we need a reason why. So, man, data is expensive. You're doing interviews. Why you? You're doing social commentary. Why you? And we have to bring whatever we're doing back to Uganda, because so much of our content can be English. And whenever you're doing English, we have to find a way. Maybe it is in the title of your channel. Let's bring the content back here, but let's do it for out there. Content nga tumukola wano. Tumukole nga tumukomya. We're telling our stories. But let us tell our stories in the way they're going to be taken by someone out there. Nti nze, my character ndi mechanic, and in a normal mechanical setting we are the mechanic in Kampala, but I'm delivering my content in a way that a Kenyan is going to listen to the content, but it doesn't take away from my content being rooted. When our content is rooted, it makes it special. That is the first beginning of it being special. But it is important for us to know that the numbers, for when we only root it here and don't do for someone outside here, you have a cap. You will go and it will stop. You will see it with maybe even musicians or what will views totally suka. Yes.
So my next question is, can you try to explain your creative process? Kubanga omutaina watuuka nga takyalina ideas obanga alaba tebinyuma. There are moments when people feel like whatever they're trying to put out is not interesting. How do you go about making it interesting? Do you ask some people for feedback?
Yeah, no one is smart alone. Whatever you're doing, just even raising you has not taken you. I think at Sigwa you may be there. What more is that going to take? The truth is conversation. I think what we're doing here, we're learning from each other.
Yeah.
Yes. So conversation is going to help you. Of course, you're not going to pick everything, but read the signs. You know, you don't have to follow the sign. Even if it says go turn left, you don't have to, but read the sign. It is better when you know at least your error is at the side of you at least you know. But many haters, the haters are right. The haters are right. So listen to them, but bakuyamba. Afadhali ogamba gaita kwagaliza naye afadhali aina chayogera.
So they always comment. They are the ones who comment the most. In other words,
They are the ones who watch
Yes.
full video.
Okitegera balaba video paka.
Someone who gives you a dislike.
Yeah. But you see, even after you've done all that, the creativity might not go there. Mbasaba busabe buntu ayina channel. Creativity is a journey. When I nakatandika channel bangambanga, I had bad moments. And people were telling me, Uncle Mondo, we don't call a video bili buli week. Yeah, I want to be honest with you. Bobanga toina capacity, you don't call her. Olaba ne Trevor Noah nyini. Akola daily show. He has bad shows. But you see, the corporation wants him to have a show every day. So, ne ya yuri aina followership already. Why are you having bad days?
Indeed.
Wait until the good day comes. If the content is not good, every time I write a script, in my videos, I script it down. Every single one. I shot a video today. Every single one. I write it down and I share that script with someone. And people of different walks of life. A journalist, a normal person, a funny person. And they'll be like, hey, all those things help you to be creative. But you won't get it the first time. You might not get the second time. You can be lucky and you get it the first time. But it's going to be a journey. It was wrong for me to think I needed to put out too many videos when I can't even afford to be too funny twice a week. So, kakole kaka katono paka olabanga chicho. Take it. Linda. No nyakala, but every time you know nyakala gamba, what am I going to do better from the last one?
Do you get ideas from the comment section to do content as people are commenting? Do they direct your creative process sometimes?
Yes, they do. Like I said, always read the signs. You don't have to follow them, but make sure you read the signs. So I read all my comments. I try to respond to all my comments. But of course, as you become a creative, you people now, as you keep creative, you become a professional content creator. So you know chikutomeza and chitakutomeza over time. So we will lead it out, but it's helpful. Like I said, get people to help you. It is okay. It is very okay.
My next question is around, now that you're a brand, probably you might not want to hear that, but you inspire so many people. Why we think you are a brand and why you're actually a brand is that big corporations have approached you. So we want to find out, how do you decide which company to work with? Because you see, sometimes it's very, very tricky to negotiate a deal. Some people really sign up for very bad deals and they are locked in, they can't get out for years. I think it happens with musicians mainly. So we want you to share with us the best practices of deciding on how to go about these guys when they call. So kindly enlighten us on that.
The first company that approached me when I had about 2,800 followers. I was excited. But then I come and told me, I want you to do some work. You see, this work is very good. I was like, oh, thank you very much. I'm excited. So they said, what we want. I was like, so what are the The following words are very, very key. Ask the person, what are my deliverables? Bayagalachi. Bachagalawa. Muhudechi. Anagendo chiraba. Tugenda chiteka ku page yange obamba. Ebintu ebibuzo abantu bana ebibuzo nabyo kuddemu.
Do you need a lawyer?
You might not, because the lawyer, so many, not some people are just box stickers. When they come, abantu abajitamu banji. So very mugezi ngagwe so that any lawyer amanyanti no manchu yagala. Na lawyer bakula bantu to manchu yagala tino chote kigenda kuyamba. Ogamba nkumu yagamba ngende wa lawyer. Now, so when those people approach you, the first thing is when they move us. Anyway, ekirala obabuuza what are my deliverables. Then omuntu bamala ekyo obuzibu obusinga mu mufe ba content creator mbutufu oba toyinawo oba mulimu mulala kubadde kuleeta kasente. It is very easy for you to fall prey of anything that you are going to do. And there is no talk I'm going to give you in life that will save you from that. Naye gwe ng'omuntu because nga kugambye gigi yasooka ntangamba njala nkuwe gigi eyo nga bw'oyogera nga zigambye yangeetawo wano waggulu ane wano waggulu waliwo logo yange kwanza sedemeka nga mitwala 20 mwezi video ogenda kiteka. Let me tell you, the videos we are putting on YouTube are going to be on YouTube forever.
Yeah.
Mwera mule Hold up. I'm telling you, I was so broke. Because the time I started my channel, I had taken 8 months because work was broke. 8 months without an income. But the things you're supposed to define very, very early when because you guys are going to become big, and I'm praying that you make decisions. These decisions make them very early. Okay, I mean, this is going to be in my channel forever. It's a Kalango for keeps. I break out there, the Kalango is there forever. Okay, sometimes you can take it. That's why I said I can't. There's no talk I'm going to give you that's going to stop you from taking money when your child is sick. But I made certain decisions, and I said, Kanjira Mfuya. I said, the truth is, I said no until April. When I said my first yes. But between the time I got monetized in November last year and April, I'd spoken to like 25 companies.
You had spoken to them? Or
They had
reached out to you?
Oh, when I started the channel, I went to a certain company and said, can you come and do some research? Yeah, I did that. And I never became a bit today when I was walking out of Beep this. I said, I am not a city tunes. I'm a content creator. You guys, let us put our energies in the right places. Let us put our energy in the right places. How can you create better? Don't sell yourself. The question you should be asking yourself is, how can I create better? So I left, I walked away, and it took months before I got my first phone. But because I decided to put my energy, and by the way, some of those companies I even went to emulate, they will come back. And this time you'll be like, I'm a different person. But because you put your energy in the right place. So, first of all, those deliverables, abnormal. They're going to compromise your work. Then you'll be a chitunes instead of being a content creator. Yet the reason why anyone is reaching you is because you're a content creator.
Yeah.
What about monetize? Don't take all the money. It is good. It's good money, but it's going to compromise the fact that you're a content creator. No, what work have you keep that circle small? Keep it small so that Osigalo child content creator I think will be effective.
So I had a question about are there people that attack you because of certain kinds of lines you've done, and how have you gone about it? Do you call them? Do you write to them? Do you block them and add them into spam somewhere?
First of all, I derive my energy to create from very weird, awkward places. I derive my energy to create from people who say I can't do it, from people who say everyone comes and goes. From people who say like I said, you guys, the haters are right. Use the haters. Those guys are right. So I get when I hear they come, someone can say, for example, my content is not for it may not be for everyone, just like all your content. But my content is not for everyone. Not for everyone. So the people were like, what's it? Is it funny? You know? And you're supposed to understand that actually my content is actually probably you're going to do self-counseling. Probably it's not for them. Every product they made it for the customer. So it's just one of those products that person didn't like. So step off, but it's also important that you took note that they said something and keep that in your back. You might need it because later you might be like, hey,
Uncle Mo, let me interrupt you only for 5 seconds.
Sure.
Members, buy the 15 glasses of hibiscus.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, so that's it. Those comments will come. They are okay. Buli muntu kunsi olaba Yesu badutana kali gwe batase olaba Yesu batamute. So I think you should use that energy as much as possible because it is as good as the vibes of hey oliwa kabinyo na oliwa kabinyo etomeza nokutomeza. So yeah.
Question here.
I want to say this before I forget. I think one thing you can learn from you right now, people are doing news, you are still under news, and people are doing comedy. Yeah. And I think you just brought two niches and blended them together. I think people here who are stuck between two niches or you don't know, you can sit down and think. If you're doing news and you have comedy, he blended two niches and brought out something beautiful. I think another person who has tried was, he was doing it in Uganda. People would make phone calls and make, I've forgotten his name. Yeah, he was doing it so good, but I think you've mastered your art. And another thing I want to understand, how do you, because brands will approach you, but you have put your channel separate from your brand. Because someone, if you're working with, let me say, a bar, you're going to find for a moment your channel is going to be that bar. I don't know if you're getting it. Like you've worked with an insurance company, but you will not find that content on your channel. And that is where I want to understand how, because I think they will continue to ask you to put that on your channel, but how do you say, how do you
Decide from the beginning. You guys, your channels are priceless. Your channels are priceless. I made a decision cautiously that I will not put a Kalango, directly a Kalango in my videos. Because every time I'm watching other people's videos, you know, you think like a customer. Every time you're watching other people's videos and they start with, by the way, there's that moment you want to forward. It is okay, but there's a way you came for the content. In my videos, I do product placements. They are there. If someone is, they would see. You know, it is the most you should do for your channel. I say again, do not compromise your content creation. Akakasente, it's not worth what you're doing on that channel. Yeah, so you tell the person that you can create, it will be effective, so that they don't color your video with things that are. And the other thing, finding your niche. It is very important. There's nothing you're doing that no one has ever done. So when I was doing mine, ask yourself, who am I looking up to? Who is big in what I'm doing? What are they doing? I'll give you an example. I'll say Kali, probably the Daily Show, Trevor Noah, is top of the chain of the people doing social commentary. So I'm like, what is he doing? I can never better the Daily Show. It's the biggest show in the world when it comes to that. So how can I do that different? It was not even my idea to shoot from a garage. Like I said, you guys talk to people. So, and someone is like, you know what? I was supposed to shoot in his office. He told me, "Guy, we're going to get a garage." So, and like that, you find that you can actually be benchmarked with the baddest guy, but they can't be like you're trying too hard, because you found your way in his same industry. So whatever you're doing, you're like, I'm going to be like who? How will I be different? I have a cook show. There are so many cook shows. What are you going to do different? Find a way that when people are talking about you, they're like, only guy afumbira muchivira. How can we say, what can we say about your show? You're the one who does what? So you guys, let's find show DNA. That's what you call niche. Let us find show DNA. Show interviews, there are many. So to get interviews, because you do how? Because there's so many, there are people who already have history. I mean, there's a Thailand this time. I want to 20 years or something. So for them, they can just be an interview show. You, us who are starting out, we are 1 year, 6 months in. We have to find DNA. We have to find our special.
Okay, I know you're still with us. For now, this is going to be the last question. It's about the tools that people use when they are creating videos. Some people expect very serious cameras with very lengthy lenses. Other people actually use their phones.
Yes.
So we would want to hear from you. Are these tools very, very important?
The truth is, technique is more important than the tools. You'll have the best cameras, but if you're going to put them on a tripod, then you're like, hey, action, then you press record, then you put it on the phone. We shall know. We shall know. Please, technique is so important. I was shooting one of the ads I was on, and I told the gentleman, they come with sophisticated things to the garage, and I told the gentleman, can we create together? I took time to write these things. You're not going to put a camera there.
You watch me.
I told him, let us create together. Task the people on the camera. Okay, most of you shoot yourself. You bought these gadgets for vlogging, starter pack. But how are you going to use it to create? Because you created, but you need it to create as well. The team is only as good as everyone creating. Get your editor. Is going to do a better job than the DOP will ever achieve. So put amani gota de mukola content, the editor abereka katatenga mukulu nnyo. So the technique is much important. Is more important than the gadgets. The gadget is just that. It's just as good as the hands holding it. So you guys, let us put our effort in technique. If you see something somewhere, be like, I want that. How can we put it in our video? That is better than Anna in a 6D.
Thank you so much, Uncle Mo.